Picture yourself standing at the gates of eternity. What would you give to know, with absolute certainty, that you're not facing that moment alone? What if I told you that July 16th holds the key to that very promise? Today, I'm going to reveal something that could transform not just your spiritual life, but your eternal destiny itself. July 16th is the feast day of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, and on this sacred day, the Mother of God opens her heart in a way that's unlike any other time of the year. She listens with special tenderness to the prayers of her children who approach her with faith. Consider this. There are 3 specific things you can do on this holy day to receive extraordinary graces, protect your family, and prepare yourself for the most important moment of your life, the day you stand before God. If you have faith in Our Lady of Mount Carmel, write in the comments, "Our Lady of Mount Carmel, protect me with your scapular." Your act of faith helps this message reach more souls who desperately need this protection. Stay with me until the end. Why? Because the third thing I'm going to share with you is the most forgotten by Catholics today, yet it's the one that can bring the most abundant blessings upon you and everyone you love. We're not talking about tradition for tradition's sake. We're talking about accessing supernatural protection that has been promised by heaven itself. Our Lady of Mount Carmel stands apart from other Marian devotions. When she appeared to St. Simon Stock in 1251, she made a promise that echoes through eternity. Whoever dies wearing this scapular shall not suffer eternal fire. Take a moment to absorb that. The Mother of God herself guaranteed protection from hell for those who honor her through this devotion. This July 16th, you have the opportunity to claim that promise and so much more. The 3 things I'm about to share aren't complicated rituals or expensive ceremonies. They're simple, profound acts that any faithful Catholic can perform, yet they carry the power to change everything. They can bring healing to your family, protection to your home, peace to your soul. Most importantly, they can ensure that when your time on earth is finished, you won't face that final moment alone. Are you ready to discover these 3 powerful practices that Our Lady of Mount Carmel is waiting to bless? Let's begin this journey together. Transport yourself to the year 1251. A holy priest named Simon Stock kneels in desperate prayer. The Carmelite order faces persecution and difficulties that seem insurmountable. In that moment of profound need, something miraculous unfolds. The air fills with a heavenly fragrance. Before him appears the most beautiful woman he has ever seen, Our Lady herself. In her hands, she holds a brown scapular, 2 small pieces of cloth connected by strings, but this isn't mere fabric. Heaven itself has crafted an answer to every human fear, every worry about salvation, every concern about eternal security. She speaks words that have given hope to millions. Take this scapular. Whoever dies wearing it shall not suffer eternal fire. It shall be a sign of salvation, a protection in danger, and a pledge of peace and of the covenant. That moment changed everything. From that day forward, the brown scapular of Our Lady of Mount Carmel became one of the most powerful sacramentals in the Catholic Church. Saints have worn it. Popes have promoted it. Countless souls have been saved through its intercession. Think about what moves me most about this story. Mary didn't choose a king or a powerful nobleman to receive this gift. She chose a simple priest who was struggling, who needed help, who felt overwhelmed by life's challenges. Sound familiar? That's because this promise wasn't made for perfect people. It was made for people exactly like you and me. St. Simon Stock understood something profound. This wasn't simply about wearing a piece of cloth. This was about entering into a covenant relationship with the Mother of God herself. When you put on that scapular, you're declaring, "Mary, I trust you to guide me to your Son. I trust you to protect me in this life and lead me safely to the next." The feast day of July the 16th commemorates this incredible gift to humanity. It's the day when heaven and earth touched in a special way, when a mother's love provided a lifeline for her struggling children. That's why this day carries such special power. Throughout history, those who have honored Our Lady of Mount Carmel on her feast day have experienced remarkable graces. Families have been healed, addictions broken, financial troubles resolved. Most importantly, hearts have been converted, not because Mary is magic, but because she's a mother who knows exactly how to bring her children closer to Jesus. Today, as we prepare to explore these three powerful practices for July 16th, remember something crucial. You're not simply learning about a devotion. You're discovering how to activate a promise that was made in heaven specifically for you. Our Lady of Mount Carmel is waiting to pour out her blessings upon your life. All she asks is that you approach her with the simple faith of a child who trusts their mother completely. The question isn't whether these graces are available. They absolutely are. The real question is this: will you take the steps necessary to receive them? The first and most essential thing you must do on July 16th is attend Holy Mass and receive Holy Communion in honor of Our Lady of Mount Carmel. I know what some of you might be thinking. I go to Mass every Sunday. What makes this different? Allow me to explain exactly what makes this different, and why missing Mass on this day could mean missing out on graces you'll never have the chance to receive again. July 16th transcends being just another date on the calendar. It's the great solemnity of the Mother who promised salvation to those who honor her. When you attend Mass on this feast day, you're stepping beyond fulfilling your Sunday obligation. You're entering into the very heart of Mary's greatest promise to humanity. Consider this beautiful reality. You're positioning yourself to receive graces that flow specifically through her maternal intercession on this sacred day. The truth is, something extraordinary happens when you receive Holy Communion on July 16th. You're receiving Jesus through the hands of Mary on the very day that celebrates her role as our spiritual mother. It's like receiving a gift from your child, delivered personally by your own mother. The love, the care, the personal attention, it's all magnified beyond what we can comprehend. When you approach the altar that day, make this your prayer. Jesus, through the hands of your mother, Mary of Mount Carmel, I ask for the grace to persevere in faith, to die in your grace, and to be led safely to heaven under the protective mantle of your mother. This prayer aligns your heart with the very purpose of the Carmelite promise. But there's more. Offer your communion for your family members, especially those who have drifted away from the faith. Our Lady of Mount Carmel has a special tenderness for families in crisis, for children who have lost their way, for spouses who seem unreachable. When you unite your communion with her maternal heart on her feast day, you're creating a spiritual bridge that can reach even the most hardened hearts. If you want to deepen your relationship with Mary and experience the power of the rosary in a completely new way, I have something special for you. We've created the Power of the Rosary with Padre Pio, Miracles, Protection, and Divine Graces. This spiritual treasure will help you learn to pray the rosary with greater devotion and depth, discover the miracles and testimonies of those who have experienced its power, and receive a 30-day prayer guide with daily intentions to strengthen your faith. The rosary was Padre Pio's great weapon, and today it can be yours too. To download this transformative guide, simply click the link pinned in the comments. Many people go through the motions of attending Mass without truly understanding the supernatural transaction taking place. On July 16th, something special occurs. Our Lady of Mount Carmel becomes particularly active in presenting the prayers and sacrifices of her children to Jesus. She takes your Mass attendance, your communion, your prayers, and she presents them to her Son with a mother's special pleading. Think about this profound reality. Every saint who ever lived understood that the Eucharist is the source and summit of our faith. When you combine the power of the Eucharist with the special intercession of Our Lady of Mount Carmel on her feast day, you're accessing a level of spiritual protection and grace that most people never experience. Can you imagine letting July 16th pass by like any ordinary day, allowing work, errands, or entertainment to keep you from this appointment with heaven? Many people spend years praying for breakthroughs, for healing, for conversion of loved ones. They never realize that some graces are only available on specific days through specific devotions. If there's a Mass available in your area on July 16th, move heaven and earth to be there. If you're traveling, find a church wherever you are. If you're sick, unite your suffering with the Mass and make a spiritual communion. Our Lady of Mount Carmel doesn't miss a single gesture of love and devotion made in her honor. This is your invitation to step into something extraordinary. This is your chance to claim the promises of heaven through the most powerful prayer the Church has, the holy sacrifice of the Mass, offered in union with the Mother of God on her special day. The second essential thing you must do on July 16th is have your scapular of Mount Carmel blessed or renewed. If you don't have one yet, this is the perfect day to receive this incredible gift from heaven. But I need to be crystal clear about something. The scapular transcends being just a piece of religious jewelry. It's not a good luck charm or a spiritual accessory. It's a sacramental with supernatural power, a visible sign of your consecration to Mary, and a guarantee of her protection in life, and especially at the hour of death. The truth is that many Catholics don't understand this. You can't simply buy a scapular online and put it on yourself. To receive the full benefits of Our Lady's promise, the scapular must be properly imposed by a priest. This isn't merely a church rule. It's how you become enrolled in the promise of Mount Carmel. When a priest places that scapular around your neck for the first time and says the blessing, something spiritual happens. You're wearing more than cloth. You're wearing heaven's protection. Already have a scapular. July 16th is the perfect day to have it blessed again and to renew your commitment to Our Lady. Find a priest after Mass and say, "Father, could you please bless my scapular and help me renew my consecration to Our Lady of Mount Carmel?" Then, with confidence, tell Mary, "My Mother of Mount Carmel, today I renew my consecration to you. Protect me always and come for me at the hour of my death." What I'm about to share will amaze you about the power of this devotion. Saint Padre Pio, one of the greatest saints of modern times, never removed his scapular of Mount Carmel. When he died, they found it under his Franciscan habit. This man bore the wounds of Christ in his own body. He could read souls and perform miracles, yet he considered the scapular essential to his spiritual life. Padre Pio used to tell people, make sure you always wear the scapular of Mount Carmel. It's a sign of salvation, protection in dangers, a promise of peace and eternal salvation. If this great saint considered it so important, why wouldn't we do the same? Consider the deeper truth about the scapular. It's not magic. It's a covenant. When you wear it faithfully, you're saying to Mary, "I trust you to guide my life. I trust you to help me live like your son. I trust you to be with me when I die." Mary responds to that trust with maternal love and protection that never fails. The promises attached to the scapular are extraordinary. First, there's the original promise. Whoever dies wearing it shall not suffer eternal fire. But there's also what's called the Sabbatine privilege, the promise that Mary will come to free her devoted children from purgatory as soon as possible, especially on Saturdays. Now, some people ask, does this mean I can live however I want as long as I wear the scapular? Absolutely not. The scapular is a sign of dedication to Christian living. It's a reminder to pray, to avoid sin, and to live in a way worthy of the Mother of God. It's not a free pass to sin. It's a call to holiness. When you put on that scapular or have it blessed on July 16th, You're joining a spiritual family that includes millions of souls throughout history. You're connecting yourself to a tradition that has produced countless saints and has brought comfort to dying people for over 700 years. I encourage you to make this a family tradition. If you have children, have their scapulars blessed too. Teach them about this beautiful devotion. Help them understand that wearing the scapular means they're under Mary's special protection. In the world full of dangers and temptations, what parent wouldn't want that kind of spiritual armor for their children? July 16th is your opportunity to claim this promise for yourself and your loved ones. Allow this day to pass without taking this step. Unthinkable. The scapular is Mary's gift to you, a mother's way of keeping her children close and safe. Now we come to the third thing you must do on July 16th, and this is the one that most Catholics completely forget. It's the practice that can multiply your blessings beyond imagination, yet it's the most overlooked aspect of Marian devotion. You must perform an act of charity or penance in honor of Our Lady of Mount Carmel. Most people miss something crucial about true devotion to Mary. Prayer and sacred objects alone aren't enough. Real Marian devotion means imitating her virtues. It means living like she lived. It means showing the same love and compassion that she showed. When you perform acts of charity on her feast day, you're achieving something beautiful. You're not simply honoring her, you're becoming like her. So what does this look like practically? On July 16th, do something concrete out of love for Mary and her son. Visit someone who's sick or lonely. Help someone in financial need. Give generously to a charity. Forgive someone who has hurt you deeply. These aren't merely nice gestures, they're spiritual offerings that Mary takes directly to Jesus. You can also offer small sacrifices or penances, maybe fast from your morning coffee. Give up your favorite TV show for the day. Patiently endure some inconvenience without complaining. As you do this, pray, Our Lady of Mount Carmel, I offer this small sacrifice out of love for you and for the conversion of sinners. Why does Mary treasure these small offerings? Because they show that you're willing to deny yourself out of love. Consider something beautiful about Mary's heart. She can't be outdone in generosity. When you give something up for her, when you help someone in her honor, when you choose love over selfishness, she notices every single gesture. She takes these acts of charity and presents them to Jesus with a mother's special pleading. The graces that flow from these simple acts can be extraordinary. Allow me to share a testimony that illustrates this power. Maria, a single mother from Texas, was struggling to pay her rent and was facing eviction. On July the 16th, despite having almost nothing, she gave her last $20 to a homeless man, offering it to Our Lady of Mount Carmel for the conversion of sinners. That very afternoon, she received an unexpected check in the mail, a tax refund she had forgotten about that covered not just her rent, but 3 months ahead. Coincidence? Those who understand Mary's heart know better. The beauty of this practice is that it connects your devotion to real life. It moves your faith from your heart to your hands. It transforms you from someone who simply prays to Mary into someone who actually lives like Mary. That transformation is what opens the floodgates of heaven's blessings. Remember, Mary herself lived a life of constant charity. She rushed to help her cousin Elizabeth when she was pregnant. She noticed the embarrassment of the wedding couple in Cana and quietly intervened. She stood by her son, even in his darkest hour. When you perform acts of charity on her feast day, you're following in her footsteps. This July 16th, step beyond being a passive recipient of Mary's blessings. Be an active participant in her mission of love. Look around you. Who needs help? Who needs forgiveness? Who needs a kind word or a generous gesture? Let Mary work through your hands, your voice, your heart. The world is watching how Catholics live. When you perform acts of charity in Mary's honor, you're showing the world what it means to be a child of the Mother of God. You're proving that faith transcends what you believe. It's about how you love. Before we conclude, I want to share something that can multiply all these blessings exponentially, praying the rosary as a family on July 16th. If you can gather your loved ones together for this prayer, you'll be creating a spiritual powerhouse that can transform your entire household. Our Lady of Mount Carmel has a special love for families. She understands the struggles that parents face, the worries about children, the challenges of keeping faith alive in a secular world. When families pray together on her feast day, she responds with maternal tenderness that can heal relationships, protect homes, and draw even the most resistant family members closer to God. Think about how to make this powerful. Gather everyone you can, spouse, children, grandparents, even reluctant teenagers. If some family members live far away, connect by phone or video call. Begin by asking Our Lady of Mount Carmel to cover every person in your family with her protective mantle. As you pray each decade, offer specific intentions for family members who need healing, conversion, or protection. Worried about your family rosary being perfect? Children might fidget, teenagers might seem distracted, someone might get called away by work. Mary doesn't expect perfection, she expects love. She sees your effort to bring your family together in prayer, and she blesses that effort in ways you might never fully realize. Make this prayer specific to July 16th by adding this intention: Our Lady of Mount Carmel, we consecrate our family to your immaculate heart. Protect our home from all evil, guide our decisions, and help us to live as a holy family, just as you lived with Jesus and Joseph. When you pray this with living faith, knowing that Mary promised her special protection to those who honor her, you're creating a spiritual fortress around your family. Many families have discovered that praying the rosary together on Marian feast days creates a spiritual momentum that lasts throughout the year. Children who might resist prayer at other times often find themselves drawn into the beauty and peace of these special moments. Marriages that are struggling often find new strength and unity when couples pray together on these sacred days. Remember, the family that prays together stays together, but the family that prays the rosary together on Our Lady's feast days experiences protection and blessings that go far beyond human understanding. This July 16th, step beyond praying for your family, pray with your family, and watch how Mary's maternal love transforms your home into a little sanctuary. My dear friends, let's bring together everything we've discovered about this powerful day. July the 16th transcends being just another date on the calendar. It's your personal invitation to experience heaven's extraordinary generosity through the maternal heart of Our Lady of Mount Carmel. We've explored 3 essential practices: attending Holy Mass and receiving communion in Mary's honor, having your scapular blessed or renewed, and performing concrete acts of charity and penance. These aren't complicated requirements. They're simple, beautiful ways to open your heart to graces that could change everything about your spiritual life. When you attend Mass on July 16th, you're stepping beyond fulfilling an obligation. You're positioning yourself to receive Jesus through Mary's hands on her special day. When you wear or renew your scapular, you're claiming heaven's promise of protection and salvation. When you perform acts of charity, you're showing Mary that your devotion extends beyond words. It's a way of life. Consider what ties it all together. Our Lady of Mount Carmel made specific promises to those who honor her. She promised that whoever dies wearing her scapular shall not suffer eternal fire. She promised, through the Sabbatine privilege, to come personally to free her devoted children from purgatory as soon as possible. These aren't simply beautiful traditions. These are guarantees from the Mother of God herself. Think about what this means for your eternal destiny. In a world full of uncertainty, where we can't even be sure what tomorrow will bring, you have the opportunity to secure supernatural protection that extends beyond this life into eternity. You have the chance to ensure that when your time on earth is finished, you won't face that final moment alone. You'll have the Mother of God herself as your advocate and guide. The three practices we've explored work together like a spiritual symphony. The Mass unites you to Jesus. The scapular marks you as Mary's child. Acts of charity prove that your faith is real and living. When you combine all three on July 16th, you're activating more than observing a feast day. You're activating a divine protection system that has been tested by millions of Catholics throughout history. Saint Teresa of Jesus, who lived under Mary's protection her entire life, once said, "Let nothing disturb you, let nothing frighten you. All things pass away, God never changes." When you live under the mantle of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, you can face the future with that same confidence. No matter what storms may come, you're protected by a mother whose love never fails. This July 16th is your moment. Allow it to pass by unnoticed, unthinkable. Embrace these three powerful practices and step into the fullness of Mary's maternal protection. Before we close, I want to invite you to be part of something beautiful. In the comments below, tell me which of these three practices you're going to do on July 16th. Are you going to attend Mass and receive communion? Will you have your scapula blessed or get one for the first time? What act of charity are you planning to offer to Our Lady? But there's more. Tell me who you want our community to pray for on this special day. Maybe it's a family member who's lost their faith, a friend battling illness, someone struggling with addiction. When we join our prayers together on Our Lady's feast day, we create a spiritual network that can reach into the darkest places and bring light. If this message has touched your heart, I ask you to do three things. First, give this video a thumbs up to help it reach more people who need to hear about Our Lady's promises. Second, share it with at least 3 people in your life who could benefit from this devotion. Maybe someone who's going through a difficult time, or someone who's searching for deeper meaning in their faith. Third, you subscribe to our channel and ring that notification bell so you never miss content that can strengthen your spiritual life. Remember, every time you engage with this content, you're helping spread devotion to Our Lady of Mount Carmel to souls around the world. You're participating in Mary's mission to bring all her children closer to Jesus. May Our Lady of Mount Carmel cover you today and always with her blessed scapula. May she protect your family, guide your decisions, and lead you safely to her Son when your earthly journey is complete. May she grant you the grace to live each day worthy of the incredible promises she has made to those who honor her with sincere hearts. Until we meet again, wear your scapula with pride, pray with confidence, and live with the joy of knowing you're under heaven's special protection. Amen.